Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Padawan Unlimited podcast, a Star Wars Unlimited trading card game podcast. Today, I am excited to be joined by Rob and Corey. How you guys doing?
Ahoy! We're back again every
Hello
week.
there.
Hello there.
I'm
Yeah,
excited for
definitely.
this week because we got some stuff to give out. So
We
I'm
have, we
very
have
excited.
things. We have things.
Oh my
So
God.
exciting.
Yeah, 100%. Stuff to give out, and we'll do that shortly, and also a lot of SWU news that came out
Mhm.
today as well that I think is actually really good for the game and the community.
Yep.
And then we're going to talk about our main topic, which for the podcast today is just your SWU identity. What does that mean? Like, are you a collector? Are you a competitor? Or like, or are you a mixture of everything? Like, you're trying to do all the above, like me, and draining all your energy in life. So. Um, but before we begin, I want to do some logistics. So obviously, if you're listening, thank you so much for your support. This podcast has grown a lot since it first incepted. I mean, even just from me to having some co-hosts as well as just a bunch of listeners, I am very thankful, especially to everyone around the globe. I mean, we have listeners literally all over the place, so I appreciate you so much. And to show my appreciation, some of the things I want to do, like now, is do this raffle. So we have over 2 dozen entries or so. People have responded in the chat, or not the chat, but the comment section on the last video, and then I even got some emails. Pretty happy from that. So it's real. Gil at padawanlimited.com is a real email address, and I have this random generator. The first card. So just to be clear, every entry gives you a chance to win one of these cards. I didn't really explain all the rules, but I want to be more like broad with how many cards I'm giving out to I mean, the cards I'm giving out to more people. So each drawing is you're gonna get a card, and then I'm gonna cut you out. I'm gonna cut that name off the list, and then the remaining pool will get access to the next cards. And I'm gonna give
Right.
three out. I'm gonna DM all of you who won. So if I can give you your address so I can ship them out, and I will do my best to make sure they're shipped out well. Okay, so for the first card is the General Grievous Hyperspace Legendary
Legendary.
from set
Nice.
three. It is actually a really pretty card. With the hyperspace background. So that person is going to be
Ooh.
Arden Snow.
Arden
Congratulations,
Snow.
Arden Snow,
Congrats.
on the General Grievous Legendary. Congratulations. I actually know this guy. So like in real life. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna meet him at locals. It's not rigged. I I have a
Totally
I
rigged.
It's not rigged. I have the random generator here. But Arden Snow, congratulations on this. I will get that to you.
What's
For
the
the
next
next
card?
one is the aggression card.
Gosh.
Uh, Set
Very
one
cool.
legendary that may or may not rotate out in the next 2 years. But it's probably gonna be really good, I think, for
Jump to
Seven
light
set
better.
speed.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lightspeed. I think it's gonna be great. So next one is
Mm.
Mackenzie Franklin 8254. Congratulations, Mackenzie Franklin, for the aggression card. Hopefully you need this in your
Congrats.
collection. Yeah, congrats. It's a good card. I love it. And then finally, Clone, a card that I'm using a lot actually in my Obi-Wan deck. So I love this card. Let's see. AJ Vakarian. Congratulations. The clone is yours. I will again chat you all three of you, um, separately to DM, and I will get these shipped out immediately or as soon as I get your contact information. So let me just write that down. Congrats. Perfect. So as the sets kind of continue and I get more product, I think maybe we'll make this a monthly thing. I don't know. I don't know if I have enough product to last every month, but maybe every 2 months or something. Unless I get a supplier, and then I will obviously,
Yeah, definitely gotta do for some milestones for sure.
milestones. Actually, so I've been talking about this with other people with my wife. I want to raffle off the convention pack.
Mm.
But I think
The
that's like a 500
exclusive.
that's like a 500 sub like kind of deal, right? Like
Yeah,
500
I would
subs.
say I was gonna go higher, but yeah.
A
I
thousand?
mean,
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Where are you at right now?
we're at like
121.
120.
120?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean 500 would be a nice push.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that'd
don't
be
whenever that
awesome for you
happens.
for the guys like that came started from the beginning though. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like the idea of supporting the OGs more. So like I don't want to get to like 4,000 and then people who haven't really like can't like been on the video or have been following us get that reward. No, it's
Hmm.
everyone who's like the OGs. So okay,
That's amazing.
cool. So next topic, news. Big news today. I will throw it out to Corey first to talk about whatever big because there's a bunch of different topics, and then Rob, I'll flip it to you for whatever
Uh,
might be left. I'm sure there will be. There's a lot of stuff that came out. So Corey,
Yeah, I mean, well, the
want to
big
share some big
thing
news?
was today they had a stream, live stream today, and they talked about rotation. So as we discussed on the podcast before, we got the little A symbol on the bottom of the jump to light speed cards,
Yeah,
and that is signifying that there will be rotation happening. It's going to start in March of 2026. So that's set seven. We're gonna start rotating in set seven. And what they said on the stream was that the first year of SWU, the first three sets, will be rotated out of Premier Play. You won't be able to play them legally in Premier, but Twin Suns is a different thing, so you will be able to play all of that in Twin Suns. But obviously, if we're talking about set one, set two, set three, that includes bases and leaders, I would imagine. So,
no
yeah.
more ECL in a year.
hmm yeah. So we
Oh,
got this year. We're gonna have. It seems like we're gonna have like a maximum of six sets uh, at the most in rotation.
yeah. It's gonna be huge. I think that's good. I mean, you need it, and
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Hmm.
sure.
they mentioned that there's potentially going to be an eternal format anyway, so like all the
Sure,
sets
I
will be
think you
available.
have to, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's going to be like magic. Once they get deep enough into the game, they'll start rotating out sets, and that'll be like the current, whatever premiere is going to be whatever the current sets are, and then there will always be like you said, like eternal or legacy play. Although
Hmm.
I got to imagine at some point they're going to do like a kind of like how Magic does the core sets
yeah,
every couple of years. It's probably my gut says they're going to do like core sets where they'll have, they're probably going to have Vader, Luke, all the stuff that like we've come to expect to see, kind of regularly, right? In that set, I wouldn't be shocked if you see like Sabine, Palpatine, some of the Han ones start to show, unless they want to rotate them out.
yeah.
They probably
They
don't want to.
they kind of hinted that every couple of sets, there's probably gonna be another Luke or Vader or something anyway, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
even if you lose set
Yeah.
one like Luke, you're gonna get another one probably in like set six or something, so that the
Well,
rotation always has like
that's
iconic
Oh,
characters.
Legends of the Force,
definitely
so you're probably going to
interesting.
get one there.
Because, like we've mentioned before, we haven't had another Luke unit or a Vader unit for this whole time. And meanwhile, we're getting multiple units of Sabine and multiple units of like Dooku and things like that. So there's definitely, it's interesting that they're keeping those two characters like closer to the rest there and not letting those delude those characters' unit cards. And
Yeah.
but they did say that anything that gets reprinted will be playable, obviously. Like if
Oh yeah,
there's something that's reprinted. They mentioned what card was it? Like Prepare for Takeoff, I think. That's getting reprinted for Jump to Lightspeed. So that would stay, obviously, if it's in the new sets. Anything that's reprinted will get to stay. They also mentioned potentially bringing cards back with alternate art.
Yep.
And so you're definitely not going to see these cards just be retired forever. I
yeah.
think they're going to be cards that will come back at some point in some form. But yes, in general, you have to rotate out, and that's great for the game. But like you said, go because if you're rotating cards out or sets out, that means the game is surviving long enough to do that, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, that's the hope
It's
and
the
dream.
truth.
How about you,
Yeah.
Rob? Any reaction to the news today?
I agree. I think it's a good thing. I mean, just in general, having to keep more than six sets worth of cards in your head at any given point in time is going to be, more than that is going to be challenging.
Yeah.
So I do think that it is it's good, it's healthy, and like you said, it means that the scene is still there. Competitively, I know we saw it at Hex and Co this past weekend. A full house for that one, and it was a lot of the people that we see traveling around to tournaments in the local area, but the scene is healthy, and again, anticipating that the game is going to go on that long and the league sets to rotate out, that's always a positive sign.
Yeah, agreed. Um, I think this is going to be. good overall and healthy to have set rotation. Keeps it spicy, and then and we're gonna talk about like your identity, but also like for anyone who's new, like you don't have to go back to the set one to
No,
try to
I
get some
mean,
good
look
cards,
at
right?
Magic, right? It's like
Yeah.
you can never keep up with that. So yeah.
Hey, look, I played Magic back in the day, but even then, I was still like, 3 or 4 years
Overwhelmed.
behind when I started. I started like '96, and like it had been out for 4 years prior to that.
Yep.
So like,
Yeah.
it's yeah. I'm also dating myself there, Jesus. But
So speaking of cards,
yep,
not old ones, but new ones. There's been a lot of spoilers
there
within
have
the last, even within the last week. I mean, this is the rotation. This is what happens. We're
Hmm.
in that spoiler season. Have you guys been looking at the card sets out that are
Oh,
coming out?
I mean, I
Oh
can't
yeah,
stop
oh yeah.
myself. I can't
Okay.
stop myself.
Yeah, I can't help myself either. So I'm going to talk about one card. Maybe we'll all choose one card instead of doing like
Okay.
a billion reviews.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
go
do
first
that.
because I have something in my head that I really want to talk about. Not because it's necessarily, I think, the best card out there, but it's because I love the character.
All
Uh,
right.
I like their lightsabers, and it's very
Oh,
relevant. It's
it sounds like it might be in Ahsoka.
uh, yeah, it's an Ahsoka Tano, another one.
Nice.
I am in love with this card because I mean, to me, it looks good. I can't wait to see it in like hyperspace without the borders.
Mm,
But it's a four cost cunning heroism.
Three five.
For the Han deck specifically, it's even what when played, an opponent discards a card from it's a just hand destruction, or not maybe not even Han, but like yeah, it could be Han. But
Quin-
maybe like Quinlan red or whatever,
hmm.
red uh hunting
Quinlan
package.
loves the hell out of that one.
Yeah, and if it's a unit, you get to just exhaust another unit. What? Like that is so good, and it's rare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the
So
yeah,
hand
she's
hate
not even
is
a legendary. She's
strong in
rare.
yellow, man. It's
it's
so crazy.
it's accessible to like everybody. You can get this rare like whenever, right? Which, by the way, side note, they also changed the statistics for the rares and legendaries
Hmm.
they
Yeah,
mentioned
and
that
the
they're adding
commons too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and for the packs, they're gonna add more legendaries per like better ratio, so it's 1 in 5 instead of one in 8, and then you have less chance for some rares, which is
I
crazy.
think they added four more legendaries in this set than they did the past three sets, and
And
there's two
there be
less
some
rares also.
good legendaries in this
Oh
one.
my God. Yeah.
Mhm.
So good legendary. So that's my deck. That's the card I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about, and it's force. What? Like you can
Yeah.
just anyway. So Rob, how about you, man? And any particular cards within the last week that you're like really ecstatic or happy for?
I mean, there's two that I'm staring at, but I think the one that's probably going to be more impactful is God, what the heck is it called? The super laser barrage or whatever the heck, or
Super
Turbo laser
salvo.
salvo.
super labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Um, uh, which is it's a 7 cost green, and you just pick a space unit and then pick an arena, and that unit just deals damage to everything in that arena. So it's like an even better overall barrage, and it's neutral on top of it too. So like, now it
Yep.
does cost more, but it is that's going to be way impactful.
A
You know,
a friendly space unit deals damage equal to its power to
yep,
each enemy unit in
yep,
that arena. That is
Yep.
yep.
just for 7, and it's like agnostic of heroism or villainy. That is just
Yeah,
like
yeah. Yeah, Turbo Laser Salvo is just going to be a staple in Piet. Like,
Oh, Piet's the one. That's immediately think of
yeah,
Piet, I think.
but
Like cheat out those big ships, right?
yeah, but like any green is going to be like any green deck is more or less going to want this. It's like I said, it's a better overwhelming barrage, and it's agnostic. Or I don't know if it's a better overwhelming barrage, but it's an overwhelming barrage esque card
yeah,
that is agnostic.
yeah,
Right.
for
And
only two
Hero
more.
gets to, yeah, Hero gets it. I mean, it's
Yep.
like paying Overwhelm Barrage set for 7 doesn't feel as good, but this on 7 is fine, right?
Yeah.
This is very strong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
strong.
and we've already got some very strong removal cards already based around capital ships and
Mm.
things like that. And
And
like I said, we thought planetary bombardment was good. This kind of is even, yeah, I think is even stronger. Planetary bombardment's great in like a Django deck or any type of like red. I think red yellow villainy aggression, because you just want to have that option to just take out one or two of those things that you need to get out of the way. This is just a a green board wipe in probably most cases.
Yeah, for sure. How about
Hmm.
how about you, Corey?
Well, let's talk about rare base. Um,
Ah, okay, that was my other one.
yeah, so like the red rare base, what was it called? I'm
It's
doing it
a
live here.
thermal
Thermal
Oscillator.
oscillators.
oscillator. Yeah.
Oscillator. Thermal oscillator. 27 health. So we're going down a little bit, not too far, but red base like makes your deck smaller. Now that sounds like initially it sounds not good, right? Because like well, minimum you don't like I see a lot of decks that are going above 50. This is
Yeah.
saying your deck can be 45 if you want. So
Yep.
y- that's but like that's what red wants. Red wants to get you the cards that you need at the time. You don't want to get decked out. If you're getting decked out in red, you're losing anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, going down to 45 and making sure you have those higher chances of hitting the cards you need, and winning before turn 5, turn 6, like that seems it could be very good. I see a lot of good red cards coming here. I'm very
I
Yeah.
wonder
excited
how,
for this.
yeah, I wonder how the hypergeometric like calculations work when you have five
Mhm.
less. Like your chances of mulliganing for what you need is like 95%.
So yeah, so what was it? I actually was watching, or I was actually reading on the McClunky and Numbers Guys already ran it. It's about a 2 to 3% increase for drawing what you're looking for in the first in your first hand, and then mulliganing. Like you just have a about a 2 to 3% chance better of getting what you're drawing for.
Sure, and the first thing that's great, and but even beyond that, right? The percentage only goes up.
Yeah, well, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're just exactly. We're just talking initial hand, like needing that, one of
Hmm.
three that you have in there. So it's a 2 to 3% increase, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're running, statistics like that's pretty significant.
Significant, yeah. And
Especially
like
when
I
it's
said,
already
it
like
just it's
yeah.
better. Yeah, and I think, like I said, there's going to be like so far the red cards have been pretty interesting, and I think they're only going to get better
Yeah, they
going
just keep
forward.
they like this, and they've said that, yeah, and I think Corey, you've said this in the past that they've mentioned that the first of the three in the cycle is usually going to be the more powerful of the three sets, and it's definitely playing itself out. I mean, like all the, there have been, like in the last two sets, not to say that they were bad, but there were definitely some clunker legendaries in there. And
There's
this so
so many clunky
yeah,
legendaries in
yeah,
sets two
no,
and
I
three.
know, but like this one, like I'm looking at it, it's like everyone seems like money right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
everything.
rare cards that seem like, ooh, these are better than some
Yeah,
legendaries we've had. So,
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not even. I promise only one card to talk about,
mhm.
but I'm gonna break that promise. I'm talking about one more card.
Go for it.
Profundity
Oh,
as
yes.
as a
That's the other
space
one I was thinking
heroism.
about. Hmm.
Finally a capital ship that can take out an Avenger,
Yep.
right?
yeah, but that's the 8/9
With overwhelm.
heroic. Yeah,
Mhm.
And when played, you get to choose a player. They discard a card from the hand. Then, if they have more cards
Just if
in
they
their
still have
hand
more
than
cards
you,
than you,
discard
they
another card from
discard
their
another
hand.
one. Yep.
What?
and it's when it's on destroy as well, right? It's when
Yeah,
played in destroyed.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's so good. Anyway,
Hmm.
yeah.
um,
But it eats some blue decks, that's for sure.
I mean that's why the blue need that 35 point base.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Don't want to go too much into the card stuff. Maybe we should do more like I don't know if we'll do like other videos that maybe not podcast videos, but like 10-minute like card review card review videos or something. That'd be kind of
Card
fun.
of the day stuff.
Part of the day stuff if we have time. I know we all have day jobs, right? Um, anyway, so the main topic I want to talk about, I know it's kind of a hard pivot, is your Star Wars Unlimited identity. And I think this is an important topic because I don't know if anyone really talks about it. Like in those specific terms. I mean, I think we think that we're like, oh, I want to be a competitor. I want to win the Galactic Championships. I'm just a collector. I'm a casual. I mean, we kind of branded ourselves as the casual tryhards. So I think they were in this middle ground of it all. And I know that we all buy packs, which by the way, I bought a carbonite box the other day.
Oh, you found one.
Thanks,
Mhm.
Corey, for the
I've been
hookup.
looking. I've been looking for you.
I appreciate it. So I will be opening a box with you guys. But anyway, so I don't know. I think this is a topic we should, that. will help, especially new people as they try to figure out what they want to do with this game
Hmm.
because there's a lot going on, and you could just buy the packs, which is great, or you can try to be more competitive or just collect. I don't know. So, I guess we started with Corey the last section of the pod. So, how about you, Rob? What do you think about like? Well, you know what? What do you think your identity as a Star Wars Unlimited player?
Podcast celebrity.
Pod.
No,
I mean,
in honesty, we I know you kind of hit on this a little bit earlier, but it's definitely I think it's definitely casual try hard for me. Like I want to like I play competitively. I like playing competitive games, but I don't have enough time to like commit to playing like a true like I like winning a PQ or even like even just winning a PQ is kind of on the outskirts for me. I was happy that I placed in like the top roughly the top third at Hex and Co.
yeah,
So like I enjoy playing competitively, but I am never going to be a top 10 competitor, and I'm okay with that. I like playing the game, and I like playing I like playing against good opponents. I like playing against strong decks. I like playing against the meta. I like thinking about the meta. I just don't play enough to be a factor in those everyday things. Also, Sith Lord.
that's so
That's
funny.
eyes.
How
Yeah.
about how about you, Corey? What about you? What do you think? What do you
Yeah,
think?
for my student, I think I'm much more of the collector. I'd call myself the collector of our group here. I love collecting cards, collecting and just like not just SWU, but being a card collector in general. I like doing that. And then playing the game, obviously want to be competitive, not necessarily the most competitive. I know I'm not as skilled at the game as some of these, PQ winners slash top eight guys. I feel like I could potentially get into top 30. I think that's, feasible for sure. I
Yeah.
know there's some players that I've played locally. Like we have a very competitive local scene here, a lot of good players, and I definitely can, hold my own against them. I wouldn't say I'm most consistent. That's where I fall back on the in the competitive side is my consistency is probably not as high as where I would need to be able to be in those top eights in the PQs. But I still have fun with it. I just love the the competition of the game. The like Rob was saying, just thinking about how every card works, the different lines and things like that. But I am not a specifically super going to be super competitive as far as placement goes. But
Yeah.
internally, I am super competitive for myself. It's just I know that's not where I'm gonna land in the end. But as far as like the game itself, collecting is probably where I like it a lot. I mean, I went pretty heavy on the carbonite boxes.
Oh my God. Yeah. I just again I had to stop myself, and only after getting a lot of FOMO did I finally break because
Hmm.
I was at Hex. KTOD was there, so I got to meet some of those guys. I finally got to meet Stevie Getz like in person. I mean, we've
Oh,
done
nice.
coaching and stuff in the past, which is really cool. So I've had like video calls with him, but like I actually got to like give him a high five and stuff, which is pretty cool. And Tada or John, like I actually got to meet him and stuff, and they were and like a bunch of those guys, and we were talking about like carbonite packs or boxes, and like some of them were like I bought a lot. So I got really jealous because like, oh man, everyone's buying these boxes. Now I want one. That's cool. Rob, you don't consider yourself a collector at all?
Not really. I mean, I do have like full play sets of like most of the cards, but like I'm not trying to like track them all down. I do like cracking packs like that. I'm not gonna lie, but generally speaking, I don't need to have every card. I don't need to have every hyperspace. I don't need to have every foil. Like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna try and collect the master set. That's not really in my thing. I like having the play sets to be able to create
Create the
multiple
deck, right?
yeah, exactly. But in terms of like so that part of it, like yes, I'm a collector in that sense of it, in that I like to make decks, so I like to have the cards to make the decks, but I'm not trying to complete sets
Yeah.
Yeah.
necessarily.
But
I bought a lot of
you're
product.
also the kind of guy that like has really good luck with cards and
Mm.
So at the end of
Not
the day,
necessarily needing to
Look,
buy as much as some of us other guys
yeah,
my
here.
RNG has cooled off considerably in the last two sets. The first set, yeah, I was pulling legendaries left and right, but my RNG has cooled off considerably.
that's funny. I mean, actually, I would say that RNG is probably still good. It's just been spread because around us, even if you're not getting it, around us, a lot of people are getting legendaries and or showcases. Like
But
Hmm.
Aura of +1 showcase, right?
Aura, yeah, the Aura +1 showcase Aura, like the buff to
Hmm.
the group. That's so funny. I still don't know what my identity is in this game. Truly, I am still trying to figure it out. I'm like a jack of all trades kind of a
You're
person.
the
Like
SWU ambassador of.
maybe, but I feel like I have we have I started the channel and stuff and do the podcast. So I want to entertain. I do try to I'm trying to collect the first master set of all the first three sets, and then that's the
Mm.
first year.
You're the best of everything.
Nah, I don't know
Like,
about the best. I got that Padawan Unlimited shop, which thank you
yeah.
for everyone who's made some purchases. It really helps me out.
Where can they find that?
PadawanUnlimited.com.
Easy
Um,
enough. There you go.
that's all it is. I'm always
Sorry with
updating
the
art.
alley oop for the plug.
I know. I'm actually gonna do written content in there. So this is another thing,
Nice.
content creation. I'm gonna do written content, I think. So not just here, but like playbooks, for example, or like lines
Mhm.
or just random thoughts about certain things. Like, I play a lot of off meta decks, and I want to try to win with those. And I think it's important to have at least not just video, but also written commentary. So maybe there's gonna be like I know KTOD, for example, they have their PQ like live document
Mhm.
for this season. I want to have some type of arc. I'm probably gonna have some type of archive
Do you
for.
see, this is how I see you, Gil. I think, you have KTOD, which is super competitive, high level. Let's talk meta, let's talk lines, let's talk decks and how we're going to win with these or counter them. When I see your podcast, our podcast, I dare to say,
Yeah.
I think that for you you're the voice of the guy that's not there yet. He's on the cusp of being a KTOD competitive player, but not quite there. He needs that next step, and you're there to help bring that guy to that next level. I think
Yeah,
that's what I see.
I'm the D3 coach as you're trying to get to D1. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, which is yeah, it's funny. No, for sure, I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of as people are trying to figure out the game. I mean, they're also trying to probably figure out themselves, right? What are you trying to do with here? Are you trying to just collect? Are you trying to play a lot? Are you trying to make friends? Are you trying to entertain? I think it's important to kind of reflect on that because. Um, I feel like you don't want to come away from the game like disgruntled about something like, oh, I spent like thousands of dollars on this game and it just all the prices went down, right? But like if that's
Yeah.
your identity as a collector, I can get that. But like sometimes it's not if you don't care about that, then great, and you're just a competitor and you just want to place with other cards in your hand, like then you don't think about that. So I think it helps frame your mindset for how you can approach the game and you can just be happy doing it. I think that's why I want to talk about it today.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
great. I think ultimately, as long as you're having fun, getting that enjoyment from the game, regardless of how that may be, I think that's ultimately the most important thing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We see this with the board game group that Corey and I run. If your only goal is to win a game, then turns out in a very competitive game or a very competitive scene, you're probably going to be disappointed a lot, and you may not enjoy it as much. So there has to be something else that sustains you. I play games to play the games, win, lose, or draw. Do I want to win? Sure, but do I need to win? No. And that's not going to be for everyone. Some people have that competitive drive, but I think it's at the end of the day, if you have something that kind of drives you beyond just I need to win every game that I play, then you'll take a lot more enjoyment out of it.
yeah, that's wise words towards the end of the podcast. I appreciate that, Rob. All right, so we have a couple minutes left. It's again late on a Wednesday. Actually, we're recording, so this should be more fresh news. Any final thoughts before I let you guys go for the evening?
Final thoughts. I
I
don't
know,
know.
keeping it
I'm
broad.
still, like I said, I'm still waiting to see that legendary Thrawn card.
Yeah,
Drawn unit, eh?
Yeah, I'm telling you, they gotta drop him. They gotta, and like Hera, right? Like we're gonna see the two of them.
Possibly. What I'll say is,
They're on the box, Corey. They're
yes.
gonna be there.
It's gonna be
Well,
some
I'm
dinky
not saying
common.
you're wrong. I'm just saying, I'm going a little different direction with my final thoughts, and just I wanted to congratulate you guys for competing in the PQ at Hex and Co. and Rob going over 500, which is
Yeah.
great. And like you
Yes.
mentioned, it's not like about like I saw a lot of people drop, right? A lot of people drop
Oh
from
yeah. Oh
PQ.
yeah.
And it's like you're paying this money and going to an event to play with the most competitive people. Why are you dropping? This is the best chance to get experience. And so for me, it seems like I want to go and play, like you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
like play the game, right? And Gil, you went with an off-meta deck, and you almost and you were right there at the in the middle. And so that's pretty cool, impressive.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah, no,
done,
it's good. Yeah,
guys.
congrats to you, Rob. Like you did really well with the Django deck. So that's pretty cool. And it was friendly fire too, right? Like you
Oh, there was. Yeah, yeah. Well, I got Anakin blued twice in the first two rounds, so that was fun.
Mm,
I pulled one of those out though, so you know.
yeah. I've been practicing against Anakin Blue because we're going to the PQ in
Red
Clifton
Seal.
Park. No,
No, oh no,
Park
you're going to the one this weekend. Yeah,
this
yeah.
weekend. Yeah, I'm traveling all over the
dude,
place,
every
man.
weekend, this guy Gil here, this your Padawan Unlimited right now here. Check him out at the PQs, guys. But he's there every weekend, every PQ. I think what you sign up for like six of them.
You said you're
Yeah, I
like
signed up
eight,
for
I
like
think,
two.
right?
How's was that?
I think you did eight of them, right?
Yeah, 6 to 8. I don't know. I'm
You lose track after a while.
it's yeah, I lose track after
Gil,
you do so many.
Gil
Um,
got very, very lonely and decided to drown his sorrows in signing up for PQs.
no, my wife is very upset about that. So I think I need to
Because he wasn't there to stop you. That's why.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, so I'm doing the PQ this weekend at Clifton Park. So I've been practicing against an Anakin Blue, and I think my last final thoughts is no matter what you do, can go in with a positive mindset and don't give up, right? I think the sense of defeat, like don't have a when defeated unit. Don't let your when defeated be sadness. Like your when defeated aspect should be like, go get a beer, which is exactly what I did at Hex. At Hex, I mean, I don't always partake in alcohol, but when I lost to some dude, I bought him a beer. I was like, let's just drink and see what happens.
Celebratory, right?
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
don't think of it as like, oh, I'm drowning in my sor by
Yeah,
drowning,
yeah.
drinking my sorrows away. It's more like
No.
celebratory. Let's
Yeah. And
go.
we chatted. I ended up talking to Ian, who ended up winning the tournament as well. So like that was kind of cool. And then even when I also won, I also bought a different guy a beer too. So like, your when defeated
Should be by someone to
trigger
be.
should be positive, whatever that might be. Yeah, buy a beer, buy a hot dog, whatever that might be. Buy a bag of chips. Be a good person, and the universe will reward you. The force will always be with you. And with that, until next time, talk to you all later.